Hey bestie, you are welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you the process of making this beautiful gown you are seeing on the screen. How to cut it, how to sew it, everything I'm going to be showing you is very detailed and it's a very nice tutorial that you don't want to miss. If this is your first time on my channel, you are welcome. Hope to see you again. Please don't go anywhere. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. And if you're a returning subscriber, I love you so much. Thank you for always being with me. Thank you for always staying by me. My name is Peace Deborah. Without too much talk, let's go straight into the video. Thank you. So here is the cutting of the upper bodice. So I'm going to be taking the upper bodice here. So the next thing I'm going to be doing, I'm just going to rule a guideline. Okay, so it's 5 inches, is 0.5, just a starting point like a shoulder line. Afterwards, I place my shoulder. My shoulder is 6 inches. Then after shoulder, I place the wideness of my neck, which is 2.5, and I make the depth to be 3 inches. So I use 2.5 by 3 for the neck. The wideness is 2.5, while the depth is 3 inches. And I went ahead to took the slope of my shoulder, which is 1 inch. I connected it to the shoulder line. Then afterwards, I'm going to be taking the armhole measurement. The armhole I'm working with is 6 inches. I place my 6 inches like so. And the half length I'm working with is 11 inches. Okay, so I placed 11 inches and I added 1 inch sewing allowance to it. Okay, I added 1 inch sewing allowance, and I went ahead to connect my lines together. I have a chest line, which is my armhole line, and I also have my half length line, which is 11 plus 1 inch sewing allowance. Okay, so I'll go ahead to connect my armhole line. Okay, so after connecting my armhole line, I place my chest measurement. The chest measurement I'm working with is 22 inches, and I added 2 inches sewing allowance to it. I connected it and I marked the half of the armhole, which is 3, because armhole is 6 inches, which is 3, and I went in by 0.5 at the midpoint of my armhole to connect my lines together like so, my armhole together. So after I'm done connecting the armhole together, I'm going to be taking the waist measurement. The waist I'm working with is 20 inches, 21 inches. So I divided it into 4, then plus 2. I added 2 inches sewing allowance to it. I've already added the sewing allowance to this pattern. Okay, so I went up by 1 inch at that hem line to connect my cuff line. Okay, we don't normally put that on children clothes. The children that is less than 12 years, we don't normally put that on it. So I just went by 1 inch to connect my cuff line. I cuff it like so. So I'm going to go up by 2 inches to take my yoke from the chest line. I went up by 2 inches to take my yoke. Okay, this one actually depends on you. If you want it deeper, you can go deeper. If you want it upper, okay, you can go up more than I did. Okay, I use the same thing to cut the back pattern. I have so many pattern on kiddies wear on this channel. You can check where I explain a lot there. So this is the back pattern. Okay, so I'll just go ahead to trim. I went in by 0.5 at the back. Okay, at that zipper area, at the half length area, I went in by 0.5 and I connected it to the neckline in order to remove the zipper bulge. Okay, that's what I'm just trying to do in that place, to remove the zipper bulge. Like I was saying, if you don't understand what I'm doing here, check another of my video. I explain better how to make the upper bodice for kids. Okay, so this is what I just did here. I just use the front. I place the front on top of another paper and I cut it out. Okay, so I don't normally like my zipper to enter the yoke. If I'm using net for the yoke, I don't normally like the zipper to enter, so I'm going to cut out the zipper allowance for the yoke like that. Okay, I'm just cutting out the zipper allowance for the yoke. I went up by 6 inches at the armhole, at the chest line, to take my yoke. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So I've removed the zipper allowance for the yoke. Okay, so and you can see the way I folded the remaining parts of the bodice in. I folded the zipper and I placed that one. I don't normally like the zipper to enter the yoke. If you want your own zipper to enter the yoke, you can go ahead and leave that zipper allowance like that at the yoke area, but I don't want my own to enter, so I've gone ahead to cut out the yoke from the bodice. I have the front and the back. Please, the front, you cut them on fold. Any pieces you have at the front, you cut on fold, and any pieces you have at the back, you cut them 2 times. So here is the skirt pattern, the down part that of our gown. The length of the gown I'm working with is 38 inches and the half length is 11. If I remove 11 from 38, I will have 27 inches, okay? So here I have my net. I'm using 20 yards of net altogether. I first divided it into two, making 10 yards, okay? 10 yards will be for the gathers, and the 5 years be for the flay, okay? I'm going to have 5 steps, 5 layers of net in this class, okay? So the remaining 5 will be for the pleating of our upper bodies and the gathers, the ruffle that we did at the down part of the flay, okay? So that first 10 years, I'm going to be divided. This 20 years now, I divided it into 4. That is 5 years, okay? 5 years into 4. So the 5 years, I'm going to be cutting it wide. I don't know, at the widest area. You know, we have 60 inches per wide. For the wide, we have 60 inches. So I'm going to be cutting it into 2. That is 30 inches. So I will use 5 years to cut into 30 inches. So I will have four pieces of 5 years. I don't know whether I'm making sense. 10 years like that. So we have 4 pieces of it in 30 inches. If it is 60 inches, it will be like 2 pieces. But I want to have 30 inches, okay, per length. And I said the length is 27 minus the half length is 27. I added 3 inches allowance to it, making 30. So now we are going to be cutting the flay part, okay? Whatever I did here, whatever I'm doing here, I'm going to repeat the same thing to the net. I'm going to use this door face to cut the net, okay? So I divided my radius by 6, my waist by 6.28 to get the radius, and after I'm done, I think I got 4 inches. I'm using 21 inches divided by 6.28. I think I got 3 point something, so I approximated it to be 4 inches, and 4 plus 27, which is the length, the remaining length of the skirt, is 31, okay? So I'm going to go ahead now and measure 32 inches. I added 1 inch so an allowance to it, so I measured 32 inches. So mind you, 32 minus 4, which is radius, remain 28, okay? So your door face will not be equal to your length, to your net, okay? You'll be like 2 inches shorter than your net fabric. So after I'm done, I cut out the radius, which is 4 inches, and I will go ahead to cut this out like so. So I will go ahead and cut it out. So, and I will use the same method that I use here. I will use it to cut out the net. You know, I said we're going to be having 5 layers of net, okay? So I'm going to use that door face now to cut out the flay part of the net. So here is the pattern of the front, okay, the bodies. I've already used it to cut the fabric as well, okay? So I've already used it to cut the fabric. I cut the yoke is having net. I double the net, okay? I double the net. That's for the back and for the front. And also, this is the front pattern, okay? I later checked the style we are trying to recreate, and I saw that the thing has a backs at the front. So I added 3 inches. I went down by 3 inches and I connected it to my waistline. So I just added 3 inches allowance to it. Okay, I go down by 3 inches and I added it to the waist. I connected it to the waist to create a backs effect. Okay, so we are going to be from the remaining 5 years, or whether 4 years or thereabout, from the remaining 4 years, I'm going to be pleating the net on top of these front bodies now, okay? I will put the stay on it. I'm going to put the stay on it. Then afterwards, I'm going to be pleating the net on it. This one, it actually depends on you. If you want your net to be smaller, you are going to create it small. But if you want it to be bigger, you can still create it bigger. So my own, I don't know whether it's medium or smaller. So I have a lot of net, so I've just used my distance to create it. You can see the way I'm doing. Okay, you can do your own from the left to the right, or from the right to the left. So if you pleat one, you are going to pin it down to make it stable, okay? So I will go ahead now and pleat this. I'm going to finish this off the camera so that it's not going to waste our time. So it's just a pleat. I'm just trying to create a pleat, okay? And you should, when you are pleating, you should let your pleat enter inside, okay, so that it will lay properly. You should let your pleat enter inside, okay? So I will go ahead now and do the remaining pleating off the camera and come and show us the look of it after I'm done. After I'm done pleating it, I'm going to trim it off and come and show us the result. Okay, so this is what I have here. I've already gone ahead to put the pleat. Okay, I've done the pleating and you can see it's very full and okay. And I also put the stay at the that door face so that it will not be dragging it. This door face, this upper body is going to carry a lot of load. Okay, so it's not going to be dragging it, to be stable. Okay, and you say putting the net, the pleat on top of it, it must be stable. Now I'll go ahead to attach my yoke onto it now. Okay, so I've gone ahead to notch the front part, and as you can see, we are not going to be adding sleeve to this, so I've gone ahead to turn up the neck of my yoke for the front and the armhole. Okay, I turned the armhole and the neckline. I turned it and I left the shoulder open. Okay, so I'm going to be using the back, but the back armhole, I did not turn the back armhole. I only turned the back, the back neckline. Okay, so I'm going to use the shoulder to cover it up and use it to sew, to cover the what is it called, the shoulder of the front. Okay, I'm going to just watch me what I'm doing, but if you don't understand, you can let me know in the comment section. Okay, I will explain better what I did here. So I'm just trying to let the armhole, I use the way we normally put the shoulder. Okay, to turn, the way we normally turn up the shoulder, this is what I'm doing here. Then after sewing the shoulder, I'm going to turn up the back armhole. Just try it, it's not hard. Okay, so that is what I'm just trying to do in that place. Okay, so I will go ahead now and place my yoke at the notch area. I will let the midpoint to meet the midpoint, even the lining hole. So I will go ahead now and sew it. I will pin it down and use the lining to cover the yoke. I'm going to sew it like that, and I will sew the armhole. I'm going to sew the armhole of the bodice as well, but I will leave the side. Okay, I will leave the side. I will sew the neck area and I will sew the armhole. It's only the side that will remain. So here we have sewn we have joined the neckline together, and you can see I've already joined the shoulder, and you can see the both armhole is very neat. Okay, the armhole of the net and the armhole of the bodice, the yoke and the bodice is very neat, as you are seeing it. So now we are going to be taking our body measurements. So you are going to use your own body measurements to do this place. Okay, so I have 22 and I have 21 that I'm working with. So I'm going to take it and share it between the two sides. Okay, I'm going to share it between them. The way I normally do, I normally take lining to lining and fabric to fabric. Okay, if you have watched any of my kiddies wear, this is how I normally join their sides together. Okay, so I will go off camera now and I will join it together. So here is the flare that I cut. I actually used 6 yards to cut this flare. Okay, I noticed the length is not, is not, the length of the net is not up to, is 16 inches. So, and I need like 32 or 30 or 32 or 33 inches. So I had to cut it separate. I had to cut it one by one, and I join it together. I don't know whether you understand what I mean, but if your own net is enough for you to cut it once 360 degree, just did that. So I cut 4 inches stripe, 4 inches of net. This one is going to be as long as I want it, and I did that. Is what I used to do the ruffle. I just split it on top of that flare. Okay, so our 5 years, our 10 years that will cut into 4, this is what we have. Like I said, that 10 years I divided it into 2, which is 5. Okay, and I cut that 5 years. I cut it, you see crosswise. Okay, that's not lengthwise, that's crosswise. At the width is 60. Okay, and I divide it into 2, that is 30. So that means I have 5 years by 30, 5 years by 30, another 5 years by 30. So I have 4 layers here. Okay, 4 layers here by 30 inches, 4 layers by 30 inches. Okay, so and I'm going to be placing the flame. Like I said, we are going to be having 5 layers of net. So I'm going to be placing the flame one that will cut. I'm going to be placing it on top. I will gather it on top of it before I join it to the bodies. Okay, so that is what I'm just trying to do here. I don't know whether what I explained there you understand it. Okay, just ask the question in the comment section. I will explain better. Okay, so I will go ahead now, the 4 layers of the net, and the after I will first join this, then after, and don't forget that we're still going to be adding our door face. Okay, I'm going to be adding the door face at the upper, at the first, the fashion fabric, not the lining. The lining is going to have its own lining as well. Okay, but this one now, these 6 layers now, is going to be for the upper bodies. The 5 steps of the net and the door face is going to be for the bodies alone. Okay, so here is the lining. I use half circle. Okay, that's waist divided by 3.14. That is what I use to cut this lining. Okay, I don't want to use the, so it will not be too heavy. And the hard net, we are going to be placing hard net on top of this. I've gone ahead to divide it into 3 layers. Okay, I came down by 3 inches. Don't let it be starting from from your waistline. Okay, from the cut, if you understand what I mean, just always come down by 2 or by 3 inches, so that it will not be puffy at the upper part. Okay, so I've gone ahead now to divide it into 3 places. I think I use 6 inches. Okay, I divided by 6 inches, and I have 3 layers. And I went ahead to cut the net. The length of the net is 8 inches, because I want it to overlap. Okay, it's 8 inches. So the how long it is determine on what you are doing. Okay, so here we have, I've gone ahead to join all my this thing together. Okay, I've gone ahead to join the net to the main fabric, and the lining to the lining. Okay, so you can see I have it separately. The lining goes to the lining, and the fabric go to the main fabric. So this is what we have here. I've gone ahead to put the bead at the backs area. You can put any trimmings of your choice at the back, just for fashion, for design. Okay, you can put any design of your choice. So I'm gonna have to fix the zip. If you don't know how to fix the zip, I have so many videos on my channel that talk about fixing of the zip for kiddies. Okay, so mind you, anything when you fix your zip at the back, you don't join everything together. Okay, you join it one by one. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying like that. So I decided to put this design on top of the dress. Okay, if you don't know how to make this design, you can let me know. I will create a video on it. So I just there to add to it, to the beauty of the gown. Thank you so much if you have watched it to this extent. I love you so much. Please and please subscribe to my channel. Like, comment and share. Please like, comment and share. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.